Be Hero presents Sheroes.
Hello everyone, Alicia here.
And Amy.
To celebrate the Olympics, we're coming at you with our Olympic mini-series to celebrate female athletes throughout the world and history.
Tune in these next 2 weeks to be inspired by athletes past and present, and be inspired to make changes and reach for your own dreams.
For our first Olympic Sheroes episode, we wanted to talk about Angelina Nadai. I hope I said that right, and I have no idea how to say this last name. Loholith? I don't know.
Good guess.
She's originally from South Sudan. At the age of 6, soldiers invaded her village, and she and her aunt escaped to northern Kenya through a United Nations truck that came to provide food and supplies.
At the time, they didn't have any kind of emergency supplies, and they wanted to go back to get food, but they were told not to go back because soldiers were occupying their village, and there were weapons underground. She didn't know where her parents were and thought they were coming behind, but they didn't. I'm guessing she probably thought they were in another truck like the one she was in, but for whatever reason, they didn't make it on the truck.
Since then, she hadn't seen her parents until this year. I don't know exactly when she saw them, but one article did highlight that they had also made it to the same refugee camp that Angelina escaped to, and they were preparing to meet each other at that time. I'm just wondering, when they say at that time, like at the time of this Olympics, or or were they trying to meet her for 20 years?
No, they just, I think it was this year that they came to the refugee camp.
Oh, so it took them a long time.
When we say at that time here, we're actually talking about like the article that I got the information from, right? They were preparing to meet each other at that time. I don't remember which article it was. I believe it would have been between March and May of this year is when they were preparing to meet each other.
Okay. So then it's been about 20 years since she's seen her parents. Was she raised by her aunt?
I think she must have been.
Okay.
Yeah, and growing up, she actually participated in running events through school, and she just loved running as well. She liked racing other people, and she was actually selected by the Tegla Larope Foundation and began to train just outside of Nairobi, Kenya. And we're not really going to go into who Tegla Larope is, but we'll provide a link for you in the show notes if you want to look her up and get more information about who she is and what that foundation is. In the Rio 2016 Olympics, the Olympic Committee created a new team, which was the refugee team.
I think it's fantastic that they created a refugee team. It gives a face and a story to people who have suffered more than I can imagine. I don't even know what that's like.
Yeah, I agree. And honestly, it's only because of things like this refugee team that we're even getting to know about them at all, and even anything about what that could be like.
Yeah. Despite their suffering, they're able to train and do incredible things, and they made it to the Olympics. Like, this is the biggest sporting event for 4 years, and I know I'm a huge fan.
Yeah, me too. I love the Olympics.
They now have the opportunity to inspire young children to pursue their dreams in the athletic world, and also in dreams of safety. And, well, not just young children, everyone.
Yeah, I think it's incredible, too. They're able to be that source of hope for others like themselves, but they're also able to bring attention to refugees. Because as we mentioned, I wouldn't say I have known that much or understand what they're going through. It's because of people like them that we're getting to know and find out what's going on and what it's like for them. So they're able to bring that attention to refugees. And I thought you might be interested to know that On the UNHCR website, it actually says there's 20.7 million refugees under UNHCR's mandate, and an additional 48 million internally displaced people, which is more than many countries throughout, well, which is a higher population than many countries throughout the world.
What is an internally displaced person?
An internally displaced person is someone who has not crossed a border to find safety, and they're on the run. I don't know if they're looked at for the refugee team, like the ones who have actually left their home country, but either way, it's still progress that we're starting to recognize and get to know about these people.
Angelina was one of the athletes selected to participate in the first ever refugee team at the 2016 Rio Olympics.
This year, she also qualified to compete in the Olympics in both the 1500-meter dash and the 800-meter dash.
Be sure to watch for her in the 800-meter on Friday, July 30th, and watch for her in the 1500-meter on Friday, August 6th, and celebrate her and the other competitors as they compete to see who is the fastest worldwide for those two events.
Yeah, and having competed both in the 1500 and the 800, I'm really excited to see both of these events. I love all running events, so that's definitely a highlight for me for every Olympics.
All right, so where can we find her?
So we're going to be posting quite a few links in the show notes for all of you, but there's a couple YouTube channels that you can get some information from her on. There's the Olympic YouTube channel where they did an episode with her. And then there's also a combined interview with her and other refugee athletes where Angelina Jolie interviews them. And then we also have a few other website articles for you.
The first one is called worldathletics.org. The title is Family and Opportunity Inspires Loholith. Again, apologies for probably mispronouncing that. And it says ahead of second Olympic appearance.
And then we have popsugar.com. This one's titled Meet the 10 Women Athletes on the IOC Refugee Olympic Team this summer. That one I believe is actually from the Rio 2016 Olympics, but still a good article.
There's mother.ly life. It's titled Meet the Mom plus Refugee Track Star competing at her second Olympics.
And then we have UNHCR.org, which is titled Team Refugees, Angelina Nadai, Loholith.
And then we have Olympics.com titled Introducing Angelina, and how did we say that before?
Just
Angelina Nadai, Loholith, the refugee track runner aiming for her second Olympics.
And then one more thing I wanted to add before we finish off is that while when we explained what age she was, we said she was 6 when she escaped to Kenya. Different sources have different information as far as how old she was when she escaped to Kenya. But doing the math for as far as like when she was born and when they escaped, that agrees that she would have been 6 years old. But just be aware, that could be wrong.
All right, well, thank you for listening. If you enjoyed our show and want to get to know more about Sheroes, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Also, if you think someone would enjoy this show, be sure to share and help them get to know new Sheroes weekly. We can be found on Facebook at Be Hero Media and Twitter at Be Hero Media.
And to women and girls the world over, be brave.